Have you ever left a conversation and 5 minutes later your brain goes, "Why did you say that? You sounded stupid. You should have answered differently," and suddenly you're replaying the whole thing. Line by line, tone by tone, facial expression by facial expression. You're in the shower, you're in bed, you're trying to focus on work, but your mind, it's stuck in a conversation that already ended. If you do this, you're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. But here's the real question. Why does your brain do this in the first place? Let's break it down. First, understand this. Your brain hates social mistakes. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it makes sense when you zoom out. Thousands of years ago, being socially rejected wasn't just awkward, it was dangerous. If your tribe didn't like you, you didn't survive. So today, even though we live in apartments and scroll on phones, your brain still treats small social moments like survival tests. That slightly weird joke you made? Your brain flags it. That pause before you answered? Flagged. That text you haven't gotten a reply to? Emergency mode. And when you replay conversations, a lot of the time, your brain is trying to protect you. It's asking, did we mess up? Are we safe? Do they still like us? But here's where it gets tricky. Protection slowly turns into punishment. Because instead of learning and moving on, you start judging yourself like you're on trial. And that's exhausting. Now, the second reason you replay conversations is control. Think about it. When something already happened, you can't change it. And that lack of control feels uncomfortable. So your mind replays it, edits it, imagines better versions. I should have said this. I should have been more confident. I should have stayed quiet. It feels productive, like you're fixing something. But you're not fixing it. You're reliving it. And the more you replay it, the more your brain thinks it must be important. Which means it will replay it again. That's the loop. And if you've ever wondered why it gets worse at night, or why it hits you hardest when you finally sit down, that's why. When things get quiet, your brain goes, cool, now we can process. And it processes by replaying. Now here's something most people won't tell you. Overthinking conversations is usually tied to self-doubt. Because if you trust yourself, you move on. You don't need perfect proof. You don't need to recheck everything, you just move on. But if you don't trust yourself, you analyze. You question your tone, your words, your personality. And notice this. It's not really about the conversation, it's about how you see yourself. And that connects to everything else. Procrastination, burnout, lack of motivation, feeling behind in life. Because when you don't trust yourself socially, you start doubting yourself everywhere. At work, you hesitate before starting. You overthink a simple email for 20 minutes. In relationships, you rewrite messages. You reread them like they're legal documents. Even in small decisions, you get stuck because you're scared of choosing wrong. So the real problem isn't overthinking, it's self-trust. But here's the good news, you can reduce this. Not by stopping overthinking, that advice never works, but by changing how you respond to it. Let me give you something practical. Step 1. Catch the replay early. The moment you notice you're rerunning the conversation, don't fight it. Just say in your head, "This is my brain trying to protect me." That sentence alone changes everything. Because now you're not attacking yourself. You're understanding yourself. And understanding reduces anxiety. It's the difference between, "I'm doing it again, what's wrong with me?" and, "Okay, my brain is on high alert, I get it." Step 2. Ask one simple question. Did anything actually go wrong? Not, did I sound perfect? Not, could I have been smoother? Just, did anything objectively go wrong? Most of the time the answer is no. And here's the truth you need to remember. The other person probably forgot the conversation already. We think people analyze us the way we analyze ourselves. They don't. They're busy replaying their own conversations. They're worried about how they sounded, what their face looked like, if they were awkward. You're not the main character in their mind. Step 3. Set a time limit. This sounds simple, it works. Give yourself 2 minutes. Seriously. If your brain wants to analyze, let it, but say, okay, 2 minutes, then we're done. And when the timer ends, physically shift, stand up, wash your face, change rooms. Why? Because rumination needs stillness. It loves when you sit there motionless, staring at a wall, letting the same clip play again. Movement interrupts the loop. It tells your nervous system, we're not in danger. We're moving forward. Now let's go deeper for a second. Sometimes you replay conversations because you care deeply. You care about being liked, being respected, being understood. That's not weakness, that's awareness. The goal isn't to stop caring. The goal is to care without punishing yourself. There's a difference. Because caring sounds like, I hope I came across well. But punishment sounds like, I'm embarrassed, I'm stupid, I always mess things up. And here's something powerful. The people who replay conversations the most are usually thoughtful people, empathetic people, people who don't want to hurt others, people who want to be good, but that empathy turns inward and becomes harsh. You'd never talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself after a conversation. So here's a small challenge. The next time you replay something, imagine your best friend said the exact same words you did. Would you judge them, or would you say, it's fine, you're overthinking? Talk to yourself like that. Not dramatically, just calmly. Now one more thing. Overthinking gets worse when you're already exhausted. Burnout makes your brain more sensitive. Lack of sleep makes negative thoughts louder. And feeling behind in life makes every interaction feel like proof that you're not enough. So sometimes the solution isn't mental, it's physical. Sleep better, reduce caffeine, move your body. A tired brain overanalyzes. A rested brain lets go faster. Let's recap this clearly. You replay conversations because your brain wants social safety. You want control. And deep down, you might not fully trust yourself. To reduce it, catch the replay early. Ask if anything actually went wrong. Set a short time limit. Interrupt it with movement. And practice self-talk you'd give a friend. Simple, not easy, but powerful. Tonight, try this. If you replay a conversation before bed, don't argue with it. Just say, I'm safe. Nothing went wrong. We move on. Then shift your focus to something neutral. Your breathing, the sound of the fan. Anything present. You don't need to be perfect in conversations, you just need to be real. And real people say imperfect things sometimes, that's normal. Let's improve together, one conversation at a time.